Welcome back. Let's get started connecting our Twitter Bootstrap site to the HTML5 boilerplate template that we've downloaded. You'll notice right now that whenever we inspect our elements and go into our console that we've found that we're actually failing to load a few resources, and that's okay. We're anticipating this. Throughout this course, I'm going to be using a front-end code editor inspired by Bootstrap called Brackets. If you'd like to know a little bit more about Brackets, let's Google it. You can go to brackets.io and you can see that it's an open source code editor. Now Adobe also has a version of this called Adobe Edge Code. Brackets is a front-end code editor made for the web, and it's actually built using technologies that build the web itself. It's under really active development. It features a lot of forward-looking technologies such as live reload, code hinting, and it even does some cool little tricks that help you adjust your CSS while looking at your HTML, which I think is pretty neat. Besides, the first few versions of Brackets were inspired stylistically by Bootstrap itself in its earlier incarnations. So I think Brackets is the perfect code editor to get started using our site with. So we'll go down and we'll open Brackets. Next thing, we'll drag in ClearStep, and as you can see, here is our ClearStep folder. We'll open up our index.html, and let's take a look at this. We have our standard header, our body tag that we're closing right here. We also have in our footer region, or below at the very bottom of our site, we have our links to jQuery. Also, in the case that jQuery might fail, we'll go ahead and write the localized version of jQuery found within our vendor folder. Next, we have our plugins.javascript and our main.javascript. So, in order to get Bootstrap completely plugged in, we'll need to make a few adjustments. First things first though, let's give our website a title. So in this case, we'll give our website the title of our company itself, ClearStep. Let's go through. Next, it looks like we have a link to a style sheet called normalize.min. And that's fine. However, Bootstrap is actually going to help us normalize our website anyway, so let's go ahead and delete that. Perfect, that's been deleted. We also have main, where you can imagine that we might customize our Bootstrap site using alternative styles than we might find normally in Bootstrap, so we'll leave the main.css for now. Next, we can see that we have our JavaScript within our modernizer. We use modernizer to check for things that we might need to make something like a polyfill in older browsers. So think about Internet Explorer 6, Internet Explorer 7, all the way even through IE8 and some other forms of browsers that might be a little bit more, legacy. If we need to make browser-specific adjustment, Modernizer is a great way to detect the browser themselves and then also to help us deliver the scripts or the styles that we're going to need. So this looks good. We have our Chrome frame alert for Internet Explorer. Oh, and we also have this jQuery server, but since we're developing on a Windows machine, you may not have to do this with a Mac. I'm going to have to go ahead and put an HTTPS : / to the beginning of this address so that we can actually get to the version off of the server. My local machine just wants me to be able to connect to secure. Alright, so everything else looks good. Let's add a new script so we can copy this script and place it right above the plugins. And we're just going to call this bootstrap.min. It's perfect. That corresponds to this bootstrap.min.js file, and that's going to pull that right there in our script. It's important to note that you should pull up the bootstrap.min after jQuery has already been called, but before plugins and main. We might be using plugins and main to alter the behavior of JavaScript that we find within the bootstrap.min. It's just a good practice. Next, we can see that we have a Google Analytics script that's all set up. For now, we're going to get rid of this, but I really encourage you, any website that you build, go ahead and set up Google Analytics for it using a similar code structure to this. It's just a good idea and a good practice. Let's see, we'll save that. All right, that's saved. And we need to finish this out by adding our Bootstrap styles. So we can copy this link rel and paste it in. So we have link rel style sheet, so that's correct. href, css, to main.css. Of course, now we'll be adding our bootstrap.css. So if we navigate into our CSS folder, we see that there's no bootstrap.css right now, and that's okay, because we're actually going to be using the less language to pre-process in our new bootstrap.css file. We haven't gone over there yet, but that's exactly what we're going to do in our very next video.